Greetings, my name is David Kuvelas, and I am a witness to the living God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The date today is Friday, October 2nd, 2015, and it is a few hours before the Sabbath starts. As God's witness, I have never made a prediction before in my life. There are many people out there making all kinds of predictions that do not come true, over and over and over again. People who say that God told them this, God told them that, etc. Over and over and over again. I can only wonder what is wrong with people. Whether they're delusional, or whether they're just liars and con artists, or psychopaths, I cannot answer that. But today, God's witness is going to make a prediction. I am not a prophet. All of the prophets have already come and gone. Everything that needs to be known is already known. All I am is a witness to God, given all knowledge by God, and now I am going to give a warning to God's people. I am not telling you what to do. I'm simply telling you what's going to happen. I apologize, I don't have a lot of time for this, so I'm going to skip through this really quick. This is not to prove anything. This is simply to warn God's people. The tribulation is going to start very soon. And Obama is the last president of the United States. Now I know this is hard to understand, hard to believe, but I broke Lucifer's code on a very complex mathematical level, and I have analyzed all the movies. Believe me, all of these movies are done by Lucifer and his people, 100%. And I'm going to explain to you now what's going to happen. All of the movies are allegories for what's going to happen in the future. Now bear with me. This movie is called Deep Impact, and what this movie is about they spot a meteor that's going to come and hit the earth. And then what happens is, I'm just going through the movie because it won't play right when I'm recording it, so it's kind of a problem here. But what it is they discover a meteor is going to come and hit the earth, and then they go and send the Messiah to save the earth. Okay? Now let me skip forward and show you something. Now, the Messiah, the ship, is sent to destroy the meteor to save the earth. The Messiah. Okay? And here, people go Ark, cave site, the Ark, Noah's Ark, the Messiah. Okay? They're using biblical terms, right? They are bringing in animals, just like the Ark. Animals in cages, just like the Ark. Now you'll notice here that they're all being marched inside this cave, the Ark. And look at the number, 23. You remember that I showed the Freemason Code to you, the numbers 13, 23, 26, 33, and 36. These are the Freemason numbers that they are specifically using in all of the movies and in everything there is. On a very quantum level, in fact. And people don't realize that. I was able to see it and break their code very easily. To date, I have broken the Blackjack Code. I have broken the Freemason Code, which is the largest code in the world. I have broken the Financial Systems Code, proving that all financial markets in the world are being controlled by a computer program. And I have broke the Hollywood Code. Of course, I have done all of these things because of God showed it to me. What this means is that a 33rd degree Freemason, 2 3s, 33rd degree Freemason, is brainwashing all of these people into believing that a meteor is going to hit the earth and then walking them into the ark in order to save them all. This is all a brainwashing situation taking place. You will notice lately, in recent couple years, that they have been talking about how meteors are going to hit the earth and have been hitting the atmosphere. Nothing like this is true, of course. It's all pure lies. But this is what they're talking about to prepare everyone for when they do come out with the news that a meteor will strike the earth. And the news all over the world will talk about it and act as if it is 100% real. Okay? All of the people of the world will listen in every country there is. Do you understand? Every single solitary country in the world. And all of the people of the world will all listen when they talk about a meteor is going to strike the earth. When that happens, they will use that excuse to crash world markets in one day. The Freemasons have control over all world markets, Chinese, Japan, Europe, everywhere. South America, United States, Canada, all markets are controlled, and they have control of that computer. They will crash world markets in one day as per the protocols of the learned elders of Zion. They will use the meteor strike as the excuse for why they crashed. You see the meteor coming in, and it's going to hit the earth. And you will notice that when a meteor does strike the earth, there is a black president in office. This is the movie Deep Impact. If you use the Freemason Code on the movie Deep Impact, you see that it comes out to be 13, which means Antichrist. This is an Antichrist movie created by a 33rd degree Freemason to explain what's going to happen in the future, that there will be a black president, that there will be a Messiah that will save the earth, and that a 33rd degree Freemason is brainwashing them into all of this and to getting them to follow along with what they want, which is to herd everybody into a certain area. And that these people are the chosen people. Everybody else doesn't get to go. The same thing is going to happen. There's going to be all kinds of people who will be chosen to go underneath the ground in all of the cities. Yes, there are all kinds of cities built underneath the ground all over the world. And they will get to go there. Certain people. Everyone else has to stay on the surface. All of the people that are going to go there are all the Antichrist people. All of the Congress, Senate, President, etc. All of these Antichrist people that are causing all of this to happen to begin with. All of the Freemasons. The real reason why they're going underground is because they're going to hide from God's wrath when the seals are opened by Christ. The Freemason Code is permeated throughout this movie, just like it is all movies that Hollywood creates. Now, try to understand that I am getting my information from the enemy and from God, okay? But God is showing me, or has shown me, what the enemy is saying. I have broken the enemy's code, which is the Freemason Code, which is Lucifer's code. And you'll have to trust me that I have analyzed it mathematically on a level most people cannot imagine. And the Freemasons are saying that this is going to happen. Okay? That's what God's witness wants to go on record as saying. That the Freemasons are saying that this is going to happen. 100%. I am absolutely 100% positive about it. Now, I want to show you something. There is a Jewish rabbi who says that he has broken the code to the Torah, And it shows shocking evidence, and he shows it in this video, about how Obama is the last president, and that there will be an asteroid for either 2015-16 during the blood moon year, which started, I think, September, and it will go for 1 year, so September of 2016. During that time, there is going to be an event that will take place, that has always taken place during one of these blood moons, and it's usually financial. What I'm trying to point out to you is that God's witness is not the only one saying this. I'm not the only one that came to this conclusion. This Jewish man also came to this conclusion as well, using the Torah codes. Now, I have no way to verify his codes, but he has come to the same exact conclusion that I have come to. Now, keep in mind, he talks about how this is going to be when the Messiah comes, his Messiah. As God's witness, I want to point out that his Messiah is the son of perdition, is the Antichrist. The son of perdition, Antichrist, will show up first. That's his Messiah, who he will worship. If you worship him, you will be tormented by God's holy angels, in the presence of God's holy angels and of the Lamb, who is God's Christ. As God's witness, I am here to help everyone, the Jew, the Gentile, all people. There is no difference to me. You are either good or you are evil. You will either worship the Antichrist or you won't. There isn't much in between, except for ignorance, and that is what I am here for, to help wake up God's people who he calls to listen. Again, I have never in my life made a prediction before. This will be the first one. This is it. God's witness is going on record as stating that Obama will be the last president, that they will have an asteroid, say that's going to hit the earth. It won't be real. The markets will crash in 1 day, as per the protocols of the learned elders of Zion, the financial event during the blood moon. The world will go into chaos. At some point, I do not know when, at some point, his Messiah will show up, who is the Antichrist, and he will come first, 100% guaranteed. This person will be a gray alien. He will be the beast, the snake, and he will proclaim himself God, and he will sit in Israel in the temple, which he, I'm sure, will rebuild in just a few days with his power, and he will sit in it and proclaim himself to be God. As God's witness, I want to go on record stating that God is not a biological being. He is a spirit being of unbelievable power that you could not begin to imagine. He is like a flame of fire or a plasma type of a being. And he is so powerful that we cannot even look at his face because he is so powerful. And he has a rainbow round about him. He is a beautiful being. He is not a gray alien, nor is he a human being. Also, when Christ returns, he will be in the same type of manner. He will be a spirit being of unbelievable power. He will not be a biological being, a gray alien, or a human of any kind. I am here to speak to the Jew and to the Gentile. If you worship the Antichrist, who comes first, you will be tormented day and night forever in the presence of God's holy angels and of the Lamb. When the Antichrist does show up, what's going to happen is he will force everyone to worship him through the hologram system that I show. And if you do not worship him, he will put you to death. Now, most all people that don't belong to God are going to worship him. No problem. They don't have any problem with it. And they'll love him even. But the people who belong to God and belong to Christ will be put to death by him. And this will take place within the United States of America, as it is written. As God's witness, I would also like to go on record as stating the United States of America is by far the most evil country that has ever existed in world history. It is Lucifer's country, and it was started from the very beginning by Freemasons. The entire Constitution does not mention Christ anywhere in the Constitution whatsoever. The God that they are referring to is Lucifer. Washington, D.C. is a house of evil, 100%, and it has a pentagram. It is made in the image of a pentagram. It is pure satanic. Just like the Pentagon equals 23. It is a 33rd degree Freemason institution, pure 100% evil by its very nature. Now, no one knows the day or the hour, not even the angels in heaven know. But Obama will be the last president. They will say a meteor is going to strike. They will crash world markets. At some point, the Antichrist, the Messiah, will show up, and he will bring peace to the world. This is the exact opposite of what Christ will do. When Christ comes, he's going to bring war and division. He will divide God's people from Satan's people, and the wheat from the chaff will be separated from each other. Many people will not make it, for strait is the gate, and narrow is the path that leads to life, and few there be that find it. All homosexuals, all thieves, liars, con artists, extortionists, murderers, etc., sorcerers, witchcraft people, everybody that deals in sorcery of any kind, all of these people are going to be going to hell and will worship the Antichrist. God's people, who are straight and narrow, who obey God, they are few and far between. They will be put to death, and they will be beheaded, as in Revelation. All of the churches in the United States are being run by Lucifer. They are all Freemason places. Not one speaks the truth. Not one reads from the Bible. Not one will teach anything like this, because they are all Antichrist. They all work for the Freemasons. All of the Congress and Senate and the President are all Freemasons. The President is a homosexual and his wife is a transvestite. He is a sacrifice for the Antichrist to come. And so is the United States. They built it up on purpose to crash it, so that it will crash the world as well. They used that as the place to build it up from. After the United States crashes, Israel will then take the head place in the world, and the Antichrist will sit there. And everybody all over the world will worship him who is not written into the book of life. There is no pre-tribulation rapture. The church is Antichrist and has lied. If you belong to God and you belong to Christ, you must give up your life. You must not fight. There is no way to win. There is only one way to win. Give up your life, be beheaded, and you will be in God's kingdom. And you will be very blessed for having made it this first time around. God has given me the means and called me to leave the United States. I am doing so immediately. Should you leave? That's a hard question to answer. God, you rely on God for that. There is no real right way, in my opinion. The only reason why I'm leaving is so that I can, as God's witness, I can testify against the people who are doing this, which I can't mention. and against their Antichrist. I will testify against both of these people from a safe place. I am not leaving out of fear. If I had my choice, I would be the first one to die, so I could be the first one in heaven. I'm not leaving out of fear. I'm only leaving because God wants me to. You have to decide for yourself and ask God what He wants for you. Staying behind in the country, there's nothing wrong with that. You will be taken care of by God, and you will be put to death, and then you'll be in heaven. You'll be there before me. If you do leave, it's not going to be easy anywhere you go. It'll be quite difficult, and it may just be better just to be put to death anyway. Having said that, you can't imagine how much better other countries are than the United States. I just recently left and went to Thailand and to Japan and Korea and the Philippines. Thailand, for instance, is just infinitely better than the United States. The people are so friendly and so nice. The United States, just the exact opposite. I mean, sure, there's good people in the States, but there's so many bad ones, it just ruins it completely. All of the people that you hear everywhere, they all belong to the Freemasons. The Freemasons, once they found me, realized who I was. They have tried to force me to join them and work for them. When I have not, they have gang-stalked me for 3 years, and they have slandered me, my name, all over the internet for 4 years. Everyone works for the Freemasons, without exception. And those that don't, all of their videos are blocked, everything. Just like all my videos are all being blocked, everything. They are doing everything they can to keep people from being able to listen to what I have to say. This, of course, doesn't bother me in the slightest. I am simply here to serve God. I'm not here to serve anybody in this world. I am only doing this because God wants me to, and I promised Him I would do it. So in my estimate, you have less than 1 year now before it will start. Figure it's going to start by or shortly after September 2016, after the blood moon is over. Before it is over, during that time, it will start sometime. Could start any time, but it probably won't start until the end. Now, the tribulation may not start at that point, but Obama is definitely the last president, and a meteor will strike the earth, or they're going to say it's going to strike the earth before he leaves office. Now, he may just have like a false flag attack in the States, and then he says that he needs to go on and stay the president for a while until things calm down, and then initiates martial law. And it may be sometime after that where everything starts to happen. It could even be 2019. I do not know about that. I simply know that it will be a black president in office when the meteor comes to hit. Now, you saw that the Torah code said that it was Obama by name, and that an asteroid would come by name. So I wanted to give all of you the heads up. This is God's witness speaking now. This is it. It's coming. I've never made a prediction before in my life. The time is now that I am making one. Get your houses in order. As the world turns evil, you need to turn extra good. Separate yourselves from that evil and get closer to God and pray all the time lest temptation comes upon you. And if you are already in temptation now, you need to pray and ask God to take you out of it. He can do anything for you, but you must ask. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. You were created from this from the very beginning. And you are about to go through the time that people have waited for from the very beginning. Let the world be afraid and panic and go into the caves, the ark, whatever, and listen to the Freemasons, who are Antichrist by their natures and will lead you straight to their Messiah. Do not follow them. Do not listen to them. God will take care of you. You do not need their help. I am on my way now out of the country. I just felt like I needed to do this video to finally say something as God's witness that this is coming. And I know it's hard to believe, but when I get to where I'm going, I will start to show you mathematically what is really going on. And it will open up your mind, and you will realize that you've got nowhere else to go except for God and His Christ. That's it. I will be back soon with more videos to show you and teach you what's going on, and to give you some more information about where it is I am and what it's like there, and if you maybe want to go there as well. If you are stuck in the USA, just realize that is God's plan for you. Do not be afraid. Step up to the plate and fulfill your destiny, having been written into the book of life. I will do the same when the time comes. If you make it to the last day, having hidden in some cave or a forest or wherever, then you will get to be raptured away by Christ on the last day, and you won't be beheaded. You can try to escape that if you want. I am not trying to escape that. I am simply going to go to a safe place that God is calling me to in order to speak and testify against the people who are doing this, who are Antichrist, and against their Messiah, the Antichrist. So as God's witness, I am telling all of you now, this is it. I'll be back soon to do more videos. Stay strong. God and Christ bless.